Well, with the National Guard boots still on the ground in Washington, D.C., and deployments soon expected in Memphis and Chicago, mayors from big cities all across the U.S., they're highlighting what they need to keep their communities safe. This is in a new survey. So according to the United States Conference of Mayors, a majority of city leaders share that juvenile crime is a top issue, with money causing more headaches. So 70% say they don't have adequate funding to continue their anti-violence initiatives. And now they're calling for a new partnership with the federal government to support local police departments to reduce crime. We are joined now by Providence, Rhode Island Mayor Brett Smiley. He is also the co-chair of the U.S. Conference of Mayors Police Chiefs Task Force. Mayor, good morning to you. We appreciate your time here. You know, I wanted to dive in and ask you about the unique challenges you're seeing in your city as they relate to crime.
Yeah, my story in Providence is similar to most of my colleagues around the country, which is that we're seeing crime rates drop pretty dramatically, but we also understand that no amount of crime is acceptable. And so, I don't want Americans to hear crime is going down and think that America's mayors thinks that they have the problem solved. We are always working towards zero, but community-oriented policing works. Programs like violence intervention programs work, and we're making great progress. And so what America's mayors are saying is that we understand there's no more important responsibility than we have than to keep our communities safe. We want to partner with the federal government to do that, and we've got some ideas on how we're going to get that done.
Well, I'd love to dive into those ideas. You know, the U.S. Conference of Mayors survey, major cities have found that mentoring programs, violence prevention, that they were the most effective to reduce juvenile crime. Does that ring true for your city?
Absolutely. There does need to be accountability for sure, and this isn't just about social programs, but we know the single best thing you can do to a young person is to give them a job or give them something productive to do, and that's how we make our communities safer. And so we have a long history in Providence, and most mayors have stories of really effective youth programs. The mayor of Tampa yesterday was sharing some success that she's been having with a youth intervention program down there. We're great laboratories in America's cities for programs that work, and things like mentorship and violence intervention programs, particularly peer-led or community-led, are highly effective at both serving the youth involved, but keeping everybody safer.
Right. And you would imagine this needs to be a multifaceted approach here. You know, the Trump administration has been making the argument that accountability is key, that without bringing these perpetrators to account, you're going to get the same reactions time and time again. So do you believe there need to be changes made there as well as part of this approach overall?
Accountability is absolutely a part of the equation, but it can't be all accountability. And so it's all about finding the balance, which is to say that, if we have repeat offenders or prosecutors with a backlog that aren't able to bring that accountability, that's a problem. But at the same note, we can't just prosecute our way out. We have to provide healthy alternatives, new skills, job opportunities, mentorship opportunities, recreational opportunities in order to provide a different pathway for the youth in our cities.
Yeah, there's not just one diagnosis here. You know, the same survey found many of these big cities don't have the funding to support those programs. Could federal troops on the ground help where some of these youth programs may be lacking?
It's unlikely. The whole thing that matters to us so much is that it's in partnership. And what we've seen in a couple of these places where troops have been deployed is that it's been over the objection of local leaders. And so there's only one way to really effectively serve our community, and that's collaboratively. And so we're saying we want the help of the federal government. We think that they can help in several ways. Violence intervention programs, helping pay for new police officers, locally trained, community-oriented police officers. And, many of us have stories about when we asked for the National Guard's help. Certainly during COVID, I worked closely with our Guard, but it was all at our request. And so the key is that we have a partnership and not something being forced upon us. The National Guard does incredible work, but they're not trained to do urban policing, and that distracts them from their primary mission. And so what we're saying to the feds on behalf of the U.S. Conference of Mayors is we're the ones that are responsible for safety in our cities. We know what works. We've got some suggestions on how you can make all of us safer.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.